I'm Kayoko, a 29-year-old housewife. Yuji and I got married 2 years ago. I grew up in a single-parent home. My dad passed away when I was in college. I told my husband that I couldn't leave my mom alone, so I wanted to live near my childhood home, but...
You want to live near your parents? No way! You're going to live with my parents.
What? But...
My parents insist on it, so you can't do that.
Honestly, I've never been fond of his mother. She's always looked down on me, treating me like I'm dumb. When I talk to my mom about them wanting us to live with them, if you don't want to live with them, why not rent an apartment nearby? I'll talk to them too. Encouraged by my mom, I brought it up with Yuji. Somehow we compromised and ended up living in an apartment close to his parents' place. Still, Yuji seemed unhappy about it.
What's so bad about it? My family is well off.
It's just... your mom's bullying is too much for me.
Don't sweat the small stuff. You're just immature.
Yuji would say things like this almost every day, and honestly, it was super stressful. His parents were mad we didn't move in, and they'd come over just to complain.
You'd be better off living in our house than this shabby apartment.
Even Yuji agrees. Honestly, what a foolish girl you are.
If they weren't so hostile, I might consider living with them. Before we got married, they dropped a bombshell on me.
Of course, you'll live with us once you're married. But you won't get a room. You'll live in the garden.
What? Why?
This house is built from the profits of my business. It's the fruit of my labor. I don't want a stranger living here like family.
Then, what's the point of living together?
Don't get it twisted. You'll do housework like a maid during the day. That's the deal with living together. You'll live in the garden just for sleeping at night.
And you'll pay your own utilities and food expenses. I'm paying for our living expenses. You need to cover your own.
He runs a small company and hates spending money on others. Living together with such a person was never an option. Even now, living in an apartment, they frequently come over to throw shade. I guess I just have to endure it. I was thinking this one day. Hello? What? Mom's in the hospital. Mom had a fall, and she's in the hospital in critical condition. She didn't want to be hospitalized, but it sounds serious. I was so worried about her, I suggested to Yuji that we look for an apartment near my childhood home.
Huh? Your mom's in serious condition? That's none of my concern. No way.
But we never know what might happen. I'm not asking to live with them. I just want to be close enough to visit any time.
No means no. If you're that worried, commute from our place to your parent.
It takes 4 hours to get there.
Not my problem. If you don't like it, give up on checking on her.
Yuji was adamant about not living near my parents' home. I had no choice but to make the 4-hour drive to check on my mom regularly.
I'm sorry, Kayako. You don't have to come so often, you know?
No, don't worry about it. I'm here because I want to be. My mom had become much thinner than I remembered. She might not have been eating properly. Mom, are you really okay? As I was leaving the house, the lady next door, who had always been kind to us, came to check on us.
Kayako, you're back.
Hi. The lady next door has been kind for years. And since Mom started living alone, she's been checking on our house occasionally.
Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. I'll do whatever I can.
Thank you. Though she offered to help, I felt guilty and couldn't rely on her completely. When I'm back at the apartment, I pleaded with Yuji. Please, listen. I want to hire a helper for my mom, but we don't have the money. Can I get a part-time job?
What? Are you kidding me? If you work part-time, the housework will suffer. You can barely manage as it is, so no part-time jobs.
Then, can we at least ask your parents to lend us some money? It's just for a while to pay for Mom's helper. I promise we'll pay it back, please. I bowed deeply, but Yuji showed no sign of agreeing.
Our money is our money. Why should we spend it on you or your mom? That's so cheeky. You were just a poor kid from a single-parent home. And now you want to rely on your husband's money? Aren't you ashamed?
Yuji's words made me break down in tears. I continued making frequent trips to my childhood home. But then one day, my mom's condition suddenly worsened. I got a call from the hospital and rushed over, but... Mom? Mom? My mom had passed away. The loss was overwhelming, and I couldn't focus on anything for a while. Yet Yuji remained cold, never offering a kind word, even though I had just lost my mother.
Stop moping around. It's annoying.
Why did I marry such a person? But I couldn't help it. For now, my mom had just passed, and I needed to take care of her belongings at my childhood home. My mom had told me I could do whatever I wanted with the house, but it's the house I grew up in. I can't just let it go. It was a place full of my parents' memories, and I couldn't bring myself to change anything about such a memorable place.
Kayoko.
Hi. While I was tending to the garden, the neighbor came over to see how I was doing.
I'm so sorry about your mom.
Thank you. You've always been so concerned about her.
It's okay. We've known each other for a long time. If you ever feel lonely, come over to my place. I sometimes go on trips abroad, but you're welcome anytime.
Thank you. I felt that she was trying to support me in her own way. Knowing I had someone on my side gave me a little courage. As for Yuji...
Aren't you going to get rid of that old dump?
What? Old dump?
I'm talking about your parents' house, obviously. Keeping it is just a waste of money.
How can you say something so cruel? I haven't sorted through my childhood home, and I'm not even ready to sort out my feelings.
Okay.
Yuji seemed frustrated that I wouldn't sell my childhood home. That place is precious to me, and I'll never let it go. One day after work, something unbelievable happened.
Hey, welcome back.
Yuji seemed like he was in a good mood. What's up? Something happened?
Curious, huh?
Yeah.
Well, get in the car.
What? I was wondering what was going on. I got in the car and we headed towards my childhood home. Hey, where are we going?
Just be quiet and come along.
After a 4-hour drive, we arrived at an empty land. This place is...
Where your childhood home used to be.
What?
Your mom are gone, so I had the house demolished. So, you're moving in with my parents now.
Wait, what? I was completely confused.
Are you that shocked that your childhood home is gone? But it was just a poor single-parent home, right? It wasn't much, so you're probably relieved it's gone, huh?
Yuji was laughing, but I couldn't get what was going on. What are you laughing at? You've got it all wrong. As I said that, he got pale.
What?
Seemed like he was confused. You destroyed the wrong house.
What?
Yuji let out a loud voice, his expression shifting from a smile to sheer astonishment.
No way. This area is definitely where your house was, right?
My childhood home is next to this empty lot. That house there. I said this while pointing to my actual childhood home.
Oh, right. I figured it was a poor house anyway, so we settled our engagement dinner at a fancy restaurant, and I never visited here during New Year's. Then whose house got destroyed?
That was the neighbor's house, the lady who's always been kind to me.
What? Damn, I just told him to destroy the shabbiest house without checking properly?
Who on earth did you hire for this job?
It was my family's company. I can't believe they made such a mistake. But it took several days to complete. How did that lady not notice?
Maybe she was on her overseas trip.
Overseas trip?
As Yuji stood there shocked, there was a thud as something fell behind him. Yuji turned around to see the neighbor standing there.
Excuse me, why is my house gone while I was on my overseas trip?
Jeez.
Hi.
Kayoko, what's going on here?
I'm sorry. My husband accidentally destroyed your house instead of mine.
Oh, my house got destroyed by mistake? And what about all the furniture and belongings that were inside? You're going to take responsibility for this, right?
Wait, just hold on. My dad runs a company called Suka Corp.
Suka Corp?
I'll have my dad pay the settlement. So don't be too mad, okay?
Huh, you're the son of Suka Corp's CEO. Maybe I should stop doing business with Suka Corp then.
What?
Yes, I run 3 large companies and one of them has a major contract with your dad's company.
What? You're a CEO?
I didn't know that. That's why you often go on an overseas trip.
Well, it's not something I talk about with just anyone.
But I ordered the demolition of a shabby house. A big company CEO lived in that rundown place?
Well, I'm not too fussy about where I live. When I bought the house, my company wasn't that big yet.
No way. Kayoko, convince this lady to keep the contract with my dad's company.
Yuji was in tears, but I coldly said this. Why should I do that? You tried to destroy my childhood home.
That's because...
You've always looked down on me, calling me poor because I'm from a single-parent home. I didn't realize until we got married, but I never thought you were that kind of person. I don't have any love left for you, so I want a divorce.
Wait, just hold on. Kayoko!
You, call your father right now. I'm going to discuss terminating the contract immediately.
No, wait, Kayoko! Please, fix this mess!
After that, I divorced Yuji. I heard that Yuji's father's company lost a major contract and its performance deteriorated. Yuji himself was disowned for his responsibility in the matter. He ended up bearing the company's losses and is now in a debt crisis. After the divorce, I decided to live in the childhood home where I grew up with my parents. Yuji and his parents used to ridicule my mother and me for no reason. But that doesn't matter anymore. Looking down on another family and thinking you're right is truly wrong. That's why I feel relieved to be divorced. Now I'm enjoying a peaceful life, immersed in the memories I have with my parents.